tell me why every man has the answer to literally absolutely everything.
Because they've had to do everything for everyone their entire life. And even when they don't know, their number one response is, I'll figure it out.
I don't know what's going on, and I simply don't want to know.
This is a real thing, and it doesn't mean that your woman is clueless, but it means that she's on autopilot. Which can be annoying, honestly, for a man. But it's a good sign. It means that she sees you as her protector, and she trusts you fully. Just keep in mind that you need to remember where you parked, because she won't.
Exactly. The man has to do whatever he needs to do and figure it out in majority of the situations before, during, and unfortunately in 50 to 54% of these cases after the woman leaves.
I'm sure you get this a lot, but is there any way I could get your number?
I'm sorry, it's gonna be enough for me.
Why?
I just started dating this girl. It's getting pretty serious. I don't mean any offense by it. It's just that it's getting serious. I don't want to like mess with that at all. So
she doesn't have to know necessarily, you know.
Unfortunately, now you said that she kind of does.
Get your number, and you can, change my contact name, and it could be totally fine.
It's a funny thought.
You know the drill. You know the drill.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I get that. I'm just like, it's not really my thing. She's been great to me. I'm going to be great back to her. It's just where I'm at right now. So, again, I appreciate it. Don't mean any offense by it, but I'm going to
I'm
kind of go.
Kind of taking offense by it. I mean, normally when I ask guys for their numbers, they give it to me. So I'm just like a little confused by that.
Again, it's like nothing. It's nothing that you're doing. You're doing fine. It's just that I have a girlfriend. And again, like, I completely get that. But, like,
you're being kind of an actually, so...
I'm not being an I'm sorry, I'm just telling you how it is.
Do you think I'm not pretty or something?
What?
Do you think I'm not pretty? Or like...
No,
Because that's usually not a problem.
Listen, you're kind of twisting my arm here. I'm not getting into this conversation. I'm just telling you that, like, no. And that's it. So I'm sorry you're making me kind of uncomfortable. I'm kind of going to get out of here.
Whatever. Actually, never mind. Please don't give me your number, actually.
All right, well...
Please.
This is a prime example of a woman that doesn't understand that this is most men. I said it, most men are good men. But there are so many women out there that believe the opposite. This is clearly one of them because she just cannot understand his answers. And I think it is clearly reflective of her own values. So much so that even if that man didn't have a girlfriend, he would have lost all potential attraction. A man could be in the worst position possible, and the only words you'll hear from his mouth is, I'll figure it out. And I promise you, he will find a way. He could have no idea how he's going to do it, but he will not place an ounce of stress on his lady. These men are the kings. And if you're his lady, you gotta be there to support him.
How long is this going to take?
I have said it before and I will say it again. You will make that man's dreams if you just actually verbalized it. Like once, ever. He would remember it forever. He would live off of it.
Anybody else's boyfriend makes 3 racks of ribs on a Monday after he works and churro cheesecake cookies. Can I have a cookie?
No. Rachel is the first one that has to get one because she wanted them. She's in bed.
Rachel's our 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and I made those cookies because she wanted me to, and I wanted her to feel special. So she gets to have the first one, so she feels special. You can't have one.
That makes sense. That's very nice.
This is so messed up because that dad spent time making something special for his daughter and the mom knowingly gets in the way of it by stealing a cookie. And let's be clear, it's not because she really wanted a cookie. She could have made her own cookies or gone to the store. The mom did this intentionally, which indicates that she wanted to prevent that moment, that core memory of her daughter feeling unconditional love from her father. And women out here wonder why there's a huge group of men that are done dating and done with relationships. Because that man is not impressed. He actually thinks that lady now is probably the most unattractive person in the room. And now he understands that women can be extremely disloyal, even right before she's about to marry a man. And over time, if he has enough of these experiences, he'll probably become one of those guys that don't want a relationship and just want to chill in peace. really sorry to be the one to tell her this, but he probably has not skipped out on their date. He's probably fighting for his life in the bathroom. Women will oftentimes become physically attracted through emotional connection. But what's funny is that many women don't even realize this until they're lucky enough to find somebody that they have that connection with, and he just by chance doesn't look like a Ken doll. And most men don't believe that this can happen because they work in the reverse way. They need to be physically attracted to a girl in order to get that connection. So if you're a man that's harsh on yourself because you don't have the looks that you think it takes to get a certain girl, it's not the end all be all. This is your sign. Go for the girl.
How you feeling?
I can't feel my arm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You'll feel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
I don't know.
You sleepy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to go home and get some rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where I live?
I do. I live with you. I'm your smoking hot wife.
We got married.
We did.
You're so pretty.
Thank you.
You're so pretty.
Thank you.
Thank you for marrying me.
You're welcome.
This is a very real representation of how a good man feels about his wife. And let's be clear, ladies, she did not take this as an opportunity to drill him on her insecurities, which makes it very clear that they're in a secure relationship. And that does not just happen by chance, because obviously it's very clear that this man cares very deeply for his wife. But if you read between the lines, you can tell that she feels the same exact way about him, and that is all that a good man wants. If you go for the guy that treats you like trash because he's exciting, just remember that that man is not afraid to lose you. And that's because he doesn't really care for you that much. And you're never going to change that. So once you date a few of these guys, one after another, that's when you're going to look around and say, where are all the good guys? And I'm going to tell you, that good guy left your friend zone years ago to find his queen. I don't know about you, do what you want, but I'd rather be the queen. If a man says what I'm about to say every time you call him, it is a big indicator that you have a good man in your life. You call him to ask him what he's doing, and his answer is always the same. No matter the day or time, he says he's doing nothing. That is a good sign that that is a good man. Because of course he's doing something, but what he means is that what he's doing is not that important. And he wants to make sure that you know that he's available if you need him. Women don't really understand this because they take it quite literal. And because you can't literally be doing nothing if you're existing in space, she might think that she's not getting a straight answer or that he just doesn't want to talk about what he's really doing. But look, he could be throwing a tree into a wood chopper while telling you on the phone that he's doing nothing. Because he doesn't want you to hesitate to ask what you were just about to ask him. So if you're getting this a lot from the men in your life, that is a really good sign that you have some really good men in your life that want to be there for you. So let them. Something that's really messed up that I think that every man out there has dealt with is being made to feel bad for feeling bad. Because when he told his lady something that upset him, instead of her apologizing, she found a way to make him feel bad about it. So he was left regretting even saying anything in the first place, teaching him to just bottle it up next time. I'm sorry, but if you get upset at the man that really liked you from the start, but you didn't really like him, but you also decided to give him the chance, and then you got attached, goes from texting you all of the time to forgetting to text you good morning and good night. He didn't suddenly lose feelings for you. He simply came to the realization that you don't like him very much because you weren't reciprocating. Because above all else, he wants to be appreciated and desired just like you. 3 feelings that men typically have, but they won't tell women. Number 1, when he says it's okay or no worries when you don't reply to his texts. This actually really hurts his feelings, even if your reasons are genuine. 2, he doesn't like it when you call yourself ugly. Or hate on yourself anyway, even when he tries to make you feel positive. And number 3, if he sends you memes or shares a playlist with you, you are one of the closest people to him.
I would rather pick up my husband's dirty laundry that he leaves right next to the basket, clean up all the beard hair that he leaves in the sink, pick up the dirty boots that he leaves all over the floor for every day for the rest of my life, rather than never seeing him come through that door ever again. And I know I'm not his mother, but it is my job to serve and take care of my husband. And guess what? He takes care of me. Now, I could complain all day about the fact that my husband leaves all this stuff all over the place and he doesn't pick up after himself, which he does. Sometimes he comes home from a long day and he doesn't have the strength to put his clothes in the basket after a long day. Sometimes the world wears on him so hard that sometimes all he can do is kick off his boots at the front door. And you know what? As a wife, I have two options. I can get really mad about it. I can nag him, I can get upset at him, or I could just serve my husband out of love and respect, because that's what we're called to do as wives. And the verse said, it's better to live on a roof of a house than in a home with a nagging wife.
Exactly. A man would rather be on a rooftop than to be up in a house with a contentious headache of a woman. And I can already hear the modern women's, well, I come home from work a full-hour day, then I gotta get the kids ready for bed, then I gotta get them ready for school and pack their lunch and then cook them dinner. And do you know what your man does? Yeah, he don't do nothing. But the car stay fixed. He don't do nothing. Structure stay built. All of that. Maintenance, stay. Well, I do this. That most modern women can name exactly what they do, but they can never name what their man be doing. Why? Because a lot of these men out there, they don't brag. They don't. You know what? I never really heard my grandfather, my pawpaw, brag about, nor my uncle, nor my brother, nor anybody, both of my grandfathers, brag about being in the military. Just went to work, did it. Somebody said thank you. That was it. Sometimes they didn't even take advantage of Veterans Day, where these restaurants give you 15, 20%, whatever it is, all for, you give you a free meal or whatever. Didn't even take advantage of it. Not because I didn't want to, I just didn't want the attention. I mean, I wanted the food, but I just didn't want the attention. I didn't want people to think that I was, trying to basically use my service for the wrong thing. But modern women, they always want you to pat them on the back. They don't never want to serve, and if they do, it's for their own benefit. It's not for the benefit of anybody else. So she's right. Serve your man, cater to your man, just like he would do to you.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. Crying when you practice what you preach and what you turn me on.
This is an example of a girl recognizing her toxic attitude yet doesn't even want to change it because she's actually poking fun at it. And girls can do this because, I don't know, they're girls. If a guy did this on social media, he gets destroyed. If your girl no longer gets frustrated or upset at you, oh boy, she did not just learn to be happy with your actions. She's just learning to not care anymore. Because remember, in the case of women, silence is deadly.
This
This is one of those things that a lot of women do not understand about their man, or they just flat out refuse to believe it. But the truth is that men are super attracted to the woman that they love in her natural state. It's why men talk about how they love it when their woman doesn't wear makeup or wears baggy clothes or wears her hair in a bun. It also means that he doesn't have to wait hours to go do something with you. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't like you all done up, because he does like those occasions, but he just doesn't want it to have to be every single day. And a lot of that has to do with just the fact that you're relaxed and he can touch you without messing anything up. He can kiss you without getting lipstick all over his face, and he can smell your natural odors, which, trust me ladies, men like. Well, apparently there's a whole group of men out there that are no longer afraid of being single. They're just afraid of being in another pointless relationship that risks their sanity. A good man within a relationship will do things beyond his limits, but he will act as if he's done nothing. It is at this moment that he does want his efforts to be appreciated, because let's face it, most men's efforts are not appreciated, they are expected. So if you do that, if you show him appreciation, that man will have no limits.
Hi. No.
The way in which this man just clearly communicated no to this girl sitting right in front of him, it makes me think that he must have known her. And he already knows that it is just not worth it. My other working theory is that it's love at first sight, that he just knows that she's going to mess up his life. And that is a scary thing for a man that has been single and found his peace. Because he already enjoys his life. He doesn't even really feel like he needs to add much to it, because he loves his work. He loves his free time. He may or may not like hanging out with friends. He has free time and does whatever he wants during that free time. He could literally just sit and turn off his brain and be in his nothing box. Or he could decide to be super productive and do a bunch of things. He could build a deck. He could grill some food. He could make homemade pasta from scratch if he wanted to for the first time ever. That woman that he falls in love with, she's going to mess that up, and it's either going to be in the best way or the worst way.
That girls don't know about. When they're in the shower, they like to cup the water in their hands like that and then drop it.
Wait, girls don't do this either? Are you kidding me? You're telling me not one time in the shower. You're telling me not one time in the shower you've looked up at the water, running down on your body or whatever, and you haven't had the urge to just go. You've never done that. You've never. You never, like another one that us guys do, we'll sometimes put both of our arms together, you know what I mean? Make the pool, you know? And then we have a bunch of water and we'll just see how big of an explosion we can make, you know? My personal favorite in the shower is to let the water run down my back, you know? And let the water run down my arm and off the end of my fingers like I'm Aquaman, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like I can control, like I'm Avatar almost, like I can just dig water with my mind. How have you guys never done that, dude? Have some fun in the shower. That's why we take so long in there, by the way, because we're doing shit like...
Communicate terribly. Are you hungry? No. No. Oh, you got Burger King? You get something for me? No. I didn't. As a matter of fact. Why? Because right before I left, I asked you if you're hungry. What'd you say? What'd you say?
You didn't say where you were going.
It does not matter. That has no effect on your answer. Are you hungry?
I don't know when we're finally going to understand that men in their 30s are not to be messed around with. I mean, they can be absolutely infatuated with a woman, but if that woman plays games and shows zero effort, that man is going to be gone. Because trust me, they've already experienced a toxic relationship that almost broke them. So when they see signs of this, they will quit so fast without any warning because they know their worth. Trust me. A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. It literally does not matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you're not showing him any effort. Can we talk about the man that works hard every day, fixes everything around the house, and is involved with his children's lives, and yet he's belittled, told he doesn't do enough, told he doesn't earn enough money, and isn't even touched? That man keeps pushing forward. He keeps going to work every day. He keeps fixing things around the house, and he continues to play with his children. That man that keeps giving, all he wants is respect and appreciation. Can we talk about the man who admits he wants you, respects you, and gives his time and attention to you, does anything to make you smile, and doesn't see any other girls like he sees you? Sounds like an amazing guy, right? Yeah, he's probably in your friend zone. I said what I said.
Oh, look at you, sexy mom. Hey, sexy lady. Hey, hey,
You like
hey. Start like last time.
Sure. You didn't notice the link?
Oh my gosh, that's all. You been watching Barstool or something?
What's Barstool? Should have anything.
Like some meme expert?
This is just a huge sign that that man loves you for you, and that's why he's not focused on your physical appearance. He literally just sees you, and that's what makes him happy. Which is why that label, calling him stupid, is really messed up and honestly makes me feel sad. Because it definitely seems like everything that he was saying and how he was showing you love through that interaction was not being appreciated. There's also a chance that he was noticing a couple of other things that was drawing his attention. What it really is that men don't pay attention to things that don't matter to them. And that includes how you style your hair. They will pay attention to like 20 other things before the style of your hair. Trust me.
I mean, I was gonna say no, but why are you saying no?
Oh, this one's gonna get me in trouble. But there is an obvious double standard. If she can have reasons to say no, but if he says no, there's a problem with him. And the comment section of this video make it pretty clear that women support other women that take offense to their man saying no. But what's crazy is that it's not because she feels let down, rejected, or disconnected. It's because she wanted to say no first. She wanted to be in the position of rejecting before being rejected. That's not love. Can we talk about when a good man's heart is broken? He will remain single for years later. But why? Because society and everyone else in his world, including himself, blames him. And after experiencing that much pain and guilt and blame, it takes a long time to want to be able to risk that again. The worst thing that you can do is finally find a good guy and then get comfortable with all of the great things that he's doing for you. You don't show him appreciation. And it's so easy to show a man appreciation because they literally never get compliments. You could compliment him on the most random thing. I mean, you could tell him, I like your wrist, and that would last him a year. Trust me.
No, don't.
If you feel like your man is neglecting you because of video games, I do not recommend doing this. Because what this says to him is that you don't care what he's working on or enjoying at that moment. You're making it all about you and what you want. But if you really want to change this dynamic because maybe he's doing too much of it, you need to first remind him that he loves you. And no, I'm not talking about verbally just telling him. I'm telling you to show him the qualities that he loves. And I can tell you that going and turning off his game like that is not exactly one of those qualities. The truth is that when you are a shining star in a good man's life, that will never change. If he's feeling like you're being the woman that he married or that he started off with, which obviously you are, but a lot of times women let other things get in the way. And if you do this and he doesn't change, then he's not the right man for you.
One day I be losing you.
Can we talk about the man that has been cheated on, lied to, left for someone else, dropped with no explanation, but is amazingly still trying to love like he's never been hurt? I'm not sure if guys are purposely doing this, but when they remove their shirt by reaching back with one hand and pulling it over their head, girls like it. The worst thing that you can do is finally find a good guy and then you get comfortable with all the great things that he's doing for you. You don't show appreciation. And it is so easy to make a man feel appreciated because they literally never get compliments. I mean, you could compliment him on the most random thing. Like you could tell him, I like your neck. And that would last him a year. Trust me. I'm not sure if guys are purposely doing this, but when they decide to propel themselves upstairs by skipping every other step, girls like it. If you let him know that he's a priority and remind him how much you care, you will be amazed at how many problems just disappear from the relationship.
If my wife lets herself go after I have kids with her,
I do portrait photography, and my wife once asked me why I don't edit her photos the way I edit my client photos. And I didn't know what she was talking about. And she said, you take off all of their flaws and their wrinkles and everything else about them. And I was like, I do the same to yours. And she was like, no, you don't. And it took me a while to realize that I can't edit her photos because there are no flaws. Every flaw that she sees is part of our history. Everything she doesn't like about herself reminds me of our 3 beautiful children. And I just can't fathom thinking the way this guy in this video thinks.
Why don't y'all check the men? Why y'all letting the men go unchecked like this? Here he is. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That these jerks be out here and we be trying to tell y'all, hey, that's a jerk up there. Don't go mess with him. Leave him alone. Steer clear of him. Y'all don't be protected. There it is right there. I don't know why this guy thinks like that. There are plenty of men out there that will say this, but y'all ain't gonna hear him though.
The thing about good men that a lot of women don't realize is that they are oftentimes overthinkers, because someone who overthinks is also someone who overloves. It's why these are the men that get your door. They carry things in from the car. They buy you flowers, and they even get upset when they're about to do something for you, but you do it first. But they're also the men that are hurt when you don't text them back, and are frustrated when you show really low effort in conversation. Because what these men truly desire is reciprocation, because it demonstrates that you care about him, so that he's not just left to overthink. And they are the men that constantly ask you what you need of them. And they rely on you being able to communicate your needs. Because it is extremely frustrating to good men when they are expected to read your mind, instead of just getting a straightforward answer. This is also why you don't want to play games with this kind of man, because those types of relationship games that he wants no part in, he can spot them from a mile away. So just by you trying to pull him into that, you will lose your chance with him. Trust me.
Tell me your boyfriend is useless without telling me your boyfriend is useless.
That guy is sitting there probably with the little bit of downtime that he has, and he's thinking that his girl likes doing stuff like that, all while his girl is actually thinking less and less of him. And he's definitely being destroyed in the comments. So I can't say this clearly enough for the girls in the back, but if you want your man to do something, ask him. You do not need to prove that you're a strong and independent woman if it means that you're building resentment towards your man. It won't end well, trust me. You want to be careful not to mess around with somebody that's pulled themselves out of the depths and has healed, because that person can love you to death and never speak to you again. I think we all know that women are pretty lazy in the early stages of dating, because if a man wants you, he is expected to give you all of his effort. And women literally just have to give a green light. He is expected to move mountains if he wants you. But the problem with that is what happens once he has you, because that sort of thing is not maintainable. And then women, are you with somebody that you actually like, or was it just the fact that he was willing to give you all of his effort? And that is what is not fair to men, because then all these men's hearts are being broken and they are not re-entering the dating world because of it. They're doing their own thing. And that's like the best of them. Then we're left with this pool of boys that we continue to complain about on TikTok. Thanks, bye. Men are such simple creatures that they will tell you what they want. For example, if they tell you that they want to spend date night ordering in pizza and watching a movie, they literally mean that. And it can be any pizza, any movie. If a woman says that she wants pizza in a movie, what she really means is that she wants a gourmet pizza, a salad with like 10 things in it, and very expensive wine. And the movie is one out of specifically 3 that she's willing to watch, but she's chosen those in her head that you don't have access to. So good luck figuring it out. Funny guys are dangerous. They will make you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, and poof, your clothes are off.
You know the saying that if you give a woman a house, she'll create a home? Like anything you give a woman, she multiplies. This is kind of the same concept, but for men. If you respect a man, he'll give you love. If you give a man compliments and you meet emotional needs, he will turn around and do the same thing. He's not doing this to one-up you. He's literally reciprocating the same energy that you're giving him. If you have never created a safe space to let him open up and feel his emotions and be raw and vulnerable, he will not be. Then when you get mad at him for not opening up, he's going to be like, well, why would I do that? Because all you're going to do is use it against me. But when you meet him where he's at, you meet him with love and admiration and respect, and you don't change your view of him because he has emotions, he will continue to be more vulnerable and emotional. You want a space to be yourself, he needs a space to be himself. The same safety you want, you give to him. He gives you love, you give him respect.
So I was looking through my man's phone because we were about to write a note on his phone. Let me see it. Let me show them what I saw. I was about to be so mad at him. You can see it. It says future wife. And it has our first date, February 22nd. Dunkin' order. Oh, my Dunkin' order. Wears gold jewelry. Oh my gosh. Hates tomatoes, hates olives. Chipotle order. You have the flowers I like too? Puppy. Oh my gosh. Favorite artists, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Lil Baby still on there. Zach Bryan. Oh, my sizes too. What's that for? Oh, like gifts and stuff?
Time and time again, women do not realize how far in advance a man knows he's going to marry you. And a good man at that is going to make sure that he knows all of these things about you. What I personally love is that this man obviously gets her food quite often because he had like 4 different meal options. The man is smart. He knows what he's doing. Most men want women to just tell them what the problem is so that they can fix it. This whole silent treatment crap is canceled. Women, you need to grow up and learn how to communicate. Thanks, bye. Women will oftentimes become physically attracted through emotional connection. But what's funny is that many women don't even realize this until they're lucky enough to find somebody that they have that connection with, and he just by chance doesn't look like a Ken doll. And most men don't believe that this can happen because they work in the reverse way. They need to be physically attracted to a girl in order to get that connection. So if you're a man that's harsh on yourself because you don't have the looks that you think it takes to get a certain girl, it's not the end all be all. This is your sign. Go for the girl.
There it is. That's a mistake. He don't know it yet.
It is definitely intentional in her way of letting you know. But what I will say, women, is that men love it when you're confident in yourself and comfortable with approaching him. So even if you're a little bit more forward in your approach at times, he'll love that. Can we talk about the man whose world can be imploding, yet the only words you'll hear from his mouth is, I'll figure it out. That man does just this. He figures it out, and all he wants in return is a little bit of appreciation. A huge difference between men and women is that men will keep trying even when they feel unwanted. He wants to fix it because he doesn't want to lose what he sees as valuable. Women, on the other hand, seem like they don't have any problem walking away if she feels unwanted. She will not fix it or beg, she will just walk away. And what's interesting is that this concept is seen in almost every piece of relationship advice. It's probably even been in my own. So why is this? Why are women told to just walk away and men are told to fix it? Let's talk about it.
Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, I see you, and I'm proud of you, I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference, yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Cause yes, boy, you're gonna be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. You are only as good as you are useful. You are only as valuable as you are needed by others. Should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space.
3 things that a man wants to see during the first date in order to want a second date. And let me just say, I am in full support of all 3 of these things. Number 1 is that he finds you attractive. Now, unlike what social media will tell you, a man will find a woman attractive even though she's not a supermodel, even if she doesn't have 2 inches of makeup on her skin every day. He kind of just wants her to be cute. Number 2, she's interesting enough to talk to. They can actually hold a good conversation with you. And number 3, which I think many men would agree is the most important thing, she's warm and kind. This is so observable by how you treat the waitstaff and if you're grateful for him taking you on such a great date. And all this shows is that men are way more simple than women. I think we can all agree, which is okay. I just think that we need to understand each other's differences, don't you think?
Those oceans, I'm scared.
Tell me why. Every time I pick up the phone and call a man and say, what are you doing?
He will say that he's doing nothing. This is a sign that that is a good man in your life, and I'm going to explain. But first, women don't really understand this because they take it quite literal. And well, you can't be doing nothing if you're existing in space. But what he means is that what he's doing is not that important. And he wants to make sure that you know that he's available if you need him. So if you're getting this a lot from the men in your life, that is a good sign that you have some really good men in your life that want to be there for you.
Exactly. But most modern women would say that he's lazy, he's unambitious, he doesn't have any goals, when really the man is just trying to communicate to you, hey, I'm doing stuff, nothing, chilling, just playing the game, but it's not as important as what you got going on. What's up? You want to talk? What's up? Oh, men don't listen. I'm talking to you now. I'm trying to see what you're up to now. What's up? You want to go out to eat? Hey, let's do it. Hey, men don't take us out no more. There's plenty of men that do that. What's up? What do you got? Let's talk. Hey, come over. Let's chill out. Oh, I ain't coming over there. Shut up. Ain't nobody even on that type of time. Come over. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Let's be friends. But y'all don't take the same amount of interest in what a man has that you want him to take in you. He's got to love the woman just a little bit more. Dumbest advice from a woman I've ever heard. Dumbest. Well, actually not the dumbest, but right up there.
What women need to understand is that confident men that are good will make it obvious that they are interested in you, and they will actually tell you their intentions. But if you give them nothing in return, and if they realize that you're using them just for their love and affection without giving anything back, they will leave you and they won't look back. So if this is your strategy, good luck ending up with a good man. You really want to know when you lost him? When you failed to realize that all he needed was appreciation instead of another long list of requests. And when you failed to realize that all he needed was one compliment back for the endless ones that he gave to you. That is when you lost a good man. These are 3 feelings that men typically have, but they won't tell women. Number 1, when he says it's okay or no worries when you don't reply to his texts. This actually really hurts his feelings, even if your reasons for not texting him back are genuine. If you have enough time to look at your phone and see a text, you have enough time to send a quick reply. Because he wants to feel like he matters enough to be a priority in your life, outside of when he's doing something for you or giving you something. 2, he does not like it when you call yourself ugly or hate on yourself in any way, even though he tries to make you feel positive, because he just thinks it's nonsense when he truly sees your beauty for what it is. But for some reason, he can't get you to see the truth, which is frustrating. Lastly, number 3, if he sends you memes or TikToks during the day, you are one of the closest people to him, because he is only sending that stuff to 1, maybe 2 people. So make sure to watch it at least, and better yet, even bring it up into conversation later on. Tell him how funny it was, or even have a deeper conversation about it. If you do that, that man will be hooked forever. And women out here wonder why there's a huge group of men that are done dating and done with relationships. Because that man is not impressed. He actually thinks that lady now is probably the most unattractive person in the room. And now he understands that women can be extremely disloyal, even right before she's about to marry a man. And over time, if he has enough of these experiences, he'll probably become one of those guys that don't want a relationship and just want to chill in peace.
If you're not fighting to keep me, I'm not fighting to make you stay.
True example of where words matter and where communication is lost between a man versus a woman. Because I see this all the time where women will say that they want a man to fight for them, and what they really mean is that they just want effort and consistency. But when you say that to a man who is a logical thinker and will take you for your word, he thinks that you don't want to stay with him and that he is forcing you to do something that you don't want to do if he is fighting for you. Does anyone else see the difference? Could you imagine if this was a man measuring a woman's waist or asking her cup size before even asking her name? That man would be canceled.
I don't care how mad we is. Put your leg on my leg so we can go to sleep.
100% every man wants this, because if you can show affection towards him even when you're feeling a negative emotion, that means you are choosing love, which is real love and lasting love. The kind that won't just be thrown away when things get tough.
You're not going to believe this. The other day, my husband was looking at our 2-year-old and he said, "Your nails are so short. They're always so short." And then he looked over at me and said, "How come her nails don't grow? Does that mean she has like a vitamin deficiency?" Keep in mind she's 2, and what this means is he has never cut or filed her nails in over 2 years. So I started thinking, wow, he doesn't know that I do that. I wonder if he knows how her butt gets clean. I wonder if he has any idea why her teeth are always white. There must be so many things he doesn't know or doesn't have to worry about. How amazing that must be. If I could change places with anyone in this world, I think it would be my husband. What a privileged man. In his world, the mini trash cans empty themselves. His mirror never has toothpaste splashes on it. Little by little, his house becomes more aesthetically pleasing and he has no idea how or why. He doesn't have to worry about giving the children their vitamins. He lives in a world where he doesn't know that you have to vacuum under the cushions of a couch. Tag your husband if he's one of the elite and knows these things.
The problem that I have with this video is not that she's picking out one particular thing that she always does for her child while leaving out a lot of things that he probably does all the time, such as building stuff like that deck. That's not it, because I think that every relationship has that to some degree. It is all about the teamwork. But that is not where she ends the video. She does bash her husband because she goes on to list 3 other things that he never does that she only takes care of, and then she calls him privileged. So other creators, they're calling it out. And there has been a response video that I've seen. It's just as bad, but I don't know yet if I'm going to do a response video on that. If you guys really want it, let me know. That man has the patience of an angel to not immediately go off on his wife that had one job, to hold the stone, while she was too busy telling him what to do.
He wants a sandwich.
You make daddy a sandwich.
Most of the time.
No. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, let me ask you this. If me and you out and somebody say something slick to you,
you punch him in the face.
You want me to smack him in his mouth, right?
That's right.
So if I take you on a date and I say, look, baby, we gonna go Dutch.
No.
Exactly. If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think.
So you make daddy a sandwich.
I think. I will after I get out of the shower.
Isn't this easy? Isn't this easy? Woo, just made it home, didn't hit a single curve for the millionth time in a row. Hey, isn't this easy?
So what you're telling me is you've had a rough day and you want to be left alone, don't want to talk to anyone, and don't want to hear about my problems. Okay.
Hey, isn't this easy? Yeah, it sure was hot outside today, 120 degrees to be exact. But you know what? I didn't doubt it, and I just cleaned the yard. Hey, isn't this easy? Well, you know, happens. It's out of my control, nothing I can do about it. Life goes on, won't let it bother me. Hey, isn't this easy?
A man can be in the worst position possible, and the only words you'll hear from his mouth is, "I'll figure it out." And I promise you, he will find a way. He could have no idea how he's going to do it, but he will not place an ounce of stress on his lady. These men are the kings, and if you're his lady, you gotta be there to support him. Just support him. he still will probably refuse to give you any of the stress, but you can find ways to provide him the support that he needs. Yeah, well, at least he got to show you who he was and what he wanted, and you got to show him who you were. Somebody that couldn't have an emotionally intelligent conversation. I don't know when we're finally going to realize that men are no longer afraid to be single. I mean, yes, they want you, but they don't need you because they would rather step back, build themselves up, and then decide if a woman is worth it. And that man is dangerous because he will see right through your pretty face, your manicured nails, and your sexy outfit. And it is only when he knows that you are being real with him that he will put everything on the line.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
G-H, I love you still, and you know I always will. Till the end of time, I won't change my mind.
Faithful men will give you so much of their attention that you might start to think that it's because they don't have any other options. But the truth is that they have plenty of other options. They just don't entertain all of those options because they're busy building a life. And they don't want to start adding women to their lives that don't add value. Like real value. Unfortunately, some women make the mistake of thinking that this is because the man is less desirable. There's not as much immediate proof that he is desired by other women because he's not entertaining those other women. But good men that are likely to be very faithful in a relationship are these guys. Trust me. A man will lose interest when he sees that he is trying way harder than you. Literally doesn't matter how pretty you are, how happy you are, how successful and confident you are. You will lose him simply because you are not giving him any effort. I don't know when we are finally going to understand that men in their 30s are not to be messed around with. I mean, they can be absolutely infatuated with a woman, but if that woman plays games and shows zero effort, that man is going to be gone. Because trust me, they've already experienced a toxic relationship that almost broke them. So when they start to see signs of this, they will quit so fast without any warning because they know their worth. Trust me.
That high value man that you're chasing don't have a high tolerance for stupidity. Y'all better get it together.
I've had my husband blocked on TikTok for years because, like I said before, my activity on the internet is none of his business. But recently I was feeling kind, so I unblocked him. And at first his intrusion into my internet life started slow. It was him liking my videos. It was him sending me things. It was fine. I didn't love it, but it was fine. But recently, he's crossed the line. We were chatting this morning, and he just casually looks at me and he goes, "I see you followed somebody named Girthmaster." None of his business. And I didn't know what to say, so I just got red in the face and was like, I didn't say any, I fumbled, I didn't, and it just, this is my private space, this is my private internet. He's about to get blocked again, I swear to God.
All I know is that if my man had me blocked on social media, my feelings could not withstand it. Even if my man watched all my content that popped up on his feed, but he just one time swiped to the next video before the end of my video, my feelings could not withstand it. And I understand having a private space, but isn't it your relationship that's the private space? Not the space between you and your followers or the people that you follow? I don't know, do what you want, but a good rule of thumb, I believe, is that if you wouldn't do it in front of them, you shouldn't do it. The worst thing that you can do is finally find a good guy and then get comfortable with all of the great things he's doing for you. You don't show appreciation. And it is so easy to make a man feel appreciated because they literally never get compliments. I mean, you can compliment him on the most random thing. Like, you could tell him, "I like your neck," and that would last him a year. Trust me.
Yesterday, my husband asked me if I wanted to go to Walmart, and I said, "No, honey, I'm so tired, I just want to relax today." And he kind of put his head down and said, "Well, all right, well, I'll see you when I get back, and I love you." I waited a good 10 minutes, and I know dang well he just wanted to be with me. And I called him, and I said, "Honey, I think I do need something from Walmart," knowing I didn't. I said, "How far are you?" And he said, "Only about 10 minutes. You want me to pick you back up?" And I said, "Please do." And I walked outside, and I stood in the driveway waiting on my husband to come and get me, just like we did when we first got together. And seeing that smile on his face, I knew I'd made the right call, literally. See, with my husband, it's about quality time. And although I get exhausted from day to day, I know my husband needs that from me. And I don't ever want to miss an opportunity going to Walmart with him, even if it's just to Walmart, because one day I'm going to miss that. You know? It's about communication and listening about what the other person needs from you. And he needed me yesterday, and I had to give myself to him. That's my marriage for you.
y'all be finding these men that are obsessed with you? Good fathers?
It's gonna sound harsh, but guys will agree. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure. You'll find us if you go dumpster diving. We've been discarded. You'll find the best boyfriends and husbands on the island of misfit, broken-hearted boys. Men are simple creatures. We're a lot like dogs. Like, picture a rescue dog at the animal shelter. They always make the best companions. They're always loyal, loving, appreciative. We're the exact same way. We did everything right, but we were discarded. So when someone finally comes along and picks us, we're just like, oh my god, this is fantastic. Good boyfriends and husbands are forged in the fires of evil exes. If you see a newly single girl wilding out in Miami on a girls' trip, just going crazy on her Instagram and Snapchat stories, look for her ex. He's alone in a cage somewhere, probably doing push-ups. You finally find that guy that moves heaven and earth for you and does everything that you've ever dreamed of. You have no one else to thank but that woman that ate his heart and crapped it out like an In-N-Out burger. Nobody loves more than the broken-hearted.
Some of you are confused about men and thinking that they're going to stick around no matter what if they're a good man. False, because a good man will stop trying if he's feeling unwanted. And that's out of respect for you, because he doesn't want to feel like he's forcing you into anything. He just wants you to want him. And he has tried time and time again to fix things. But at some point, he's going to be done with begging and he's going to walk away. The difference between what makes a man want a second date versus a woman is astounding. There is research out there to show that a man wants 3 things, and that's it in order to want a second date. Guess how many things a woman wants. If you guess the right number, I will video reply your comment. I can't believe the difference. It's insane.
What are you going to say about all the TikTok girls that are saying all these mean things about you in my ring?
That it's proving a point that men are the only creatures in this world that get no unconditional love. They're loved only the condition that they provide something for another person.
That's sad, but I think you might be onto something.
There's really 2 types of women in this world. The one type that absolutely has to know how much money was spent on her engagement ring. This woman will either know how much you spent because she already had picked out the ring, or she will find out how much you spent either through blatantly asking you or just knowing the specs on the diamond. The other type of woman just wants meaning behind the ring. This meaning can come from the fact that the ring or the gems are a family heirloom, or through the fact that he finds something that really is fitting to her sense of style. For me, I'm simple. He obviously did a good job. But the thing about this second group of women is that they would say yes to a ring pop. When you get down on one knee, they're not looking at the ring first because they're saying yes to you, not the ring. A good man that knows his value but has been through stuff will create his own piece and chill in it and wait for a woman to add to it. They are not out there dating a new girl every week and spending all of their money because they are building. These are the highest quality of men. And if you find one, get his attention and do not let him go. You guys can imagine the comments on this one, but a lot of weightlifters have weighed in on this and they have said that this is actually the quickest and best way to remove the weight off of her. And what I think should be appreciated is that that man did not even hesitate. She asked for help and he gave her help as quickly as he could without really processing it. But what I fear is that this type of video makes it to the wrong side of social media, you know, like the feminist side, and the man gets torn apart for how he removed the weight from her. What this would lead to is obviously him getting criticized, which is not fair, but also other young men will see this and it might cause them to react differently to a similar situation if it occurred to them. And that to me is not okay. We're not making the world a better place in that case. But what do you guys think?
There's this facial expression that men do that I've actually never seen women do. And I'm going to see if I can replicate it here. But it's like when somebody is explaining something, I don't know if it's more like they're reasoning behind something. But anyway, so this is the look that like men will give. It's this like weird, I can't even do it because I've never made the face before.
It's literally the, are you sure about that face? But he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so he's going to be quiet. He's going to let you get to your point. And then he's going to very gently nudge you towards the truth. If you're wondering why he's no longer texting you, it's probably because when he felt like he was the one putting in all of the effort. He's the one that sent the good morning and good night texts first, the one that would ask you how your day was, would specifically check on that one thing you told him you were doing today. It is not because he has all the time in the world and he has nothing better to do. No, he's busy with his own things. He made the conscious decision to make time for you. Only when he saw over and over again that his efforts were not being reciprocated that he decided to leave. A man can blow up your phone, constantly invite you to things, and consistently show interest. A girl, on the other hand, might like to just sit back and enjoy all of the work that he's pouring in. And if she really likes him and he's doing all of this, she'll probably develop feelings for him. But what if he suddenly stops? Like, why did he suddenly stop? Many girls would say that they were led on. It's terrible, right? And then they start talking about how they're done with men. My theory is that that man did not just suddenly decide that he doesn't like you. He's into you. But what trumps that is that he wants somebody that wants him back. So I'm telling you in the very beginning, if you like a guy, give just an ounce of effort back to him. You will like the results. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I have said it before and I will say it again. Men were taught their entire life how to treat a woman, but not what to expect from a woman. A woman was taught her entire life what to expect from a man, but not how to treat a man. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Did you say that my daughter is rude?
Yeah, I did. She gave me the finger.
Well, I wouldn't have done that if he wasn't being a slow ass.
Are you serious, Amelia? Well, listen. Whether she gave you the finger or not, then maybe you should have gotten out of her way.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I'm kind of slow.
So that means that you get to tell her she's rude?
Well, she's rude. She's rude.
But she's not rude. She's only 7.
Well, I thought she was being rude.
But were you in her way?
Probably.
So don't you think that maybe you don't own the store just because you're driving a cart? I think that you think all this is funny, and it's not funny, sir.
Well, I'm her elder, and she needs to show me a little respect.
Well, maybe you need to not think that you own the store because you're driving a cart.
First of all, that poor man deserves better. He deserves respect. And second of all, you wonder why girls grow up to be women that cannot take accountability? This is why. It's because mom is standing there taking away any ability to learn accountability. The mom is also probably why there's no dad standing there straightening out his daughter.
Looking at the daughter, I can only assume that the mom isn't taking accountability in different areas as well. I mean, the young lady flipped the man to bird because he was in the way. I mean, God dog, I understand your frustration, but excuse me still works. Why don't you teach your daughter some manners?